Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tony. Just calling, not calling, but giving you all an update. Um, I haven't been on YouTube in a minute and talked, and I just kind of felt like talking to you all again. I haven't talked to you all in a few months since the ending of my fast. Um, so just giving you all an update on how I've been doing. I've been doing pretty good. Let's see. I ended my fast like early August, and it is now early November, at the beginning of November. So that was September. Almost 3 months ago. Uh, yeah, 3 months ago. 3 months and some change. And I've been doing all right. Let me think. I talked about a lot of stuff on my fast. I am Now, I'll be honest with you all. I picked up, a lot of my weight back. I didn't gain it all back, thank God, but I picked up, a good portion of it back. I would say I probably gained about 30 or 40 pounds of it back. But it's not really what I wanted to talk about. It kind of goes along with my mindset right now. Over these last few months, and it's funny that it's only been 3 months, but it seems like so much has happened for me. Um, I've just been learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about life, and what it means to be me, be Tony. And there's been, I get, well, bear with me because I don't really have this all in order, but I'm just kind of talking. One thing that I realize is that for me and my mental health, mental health is so important, in life to everyone. Mental health is important for a happy life. Not just happy, but it's important for a healthy, mental life. And if we're healthy mentally, then it kind of translates to other aspects of our life. And I will admit, when I got off my fast, I started to go back to thinking about, okay, I got to eat healthy. I got to eat this way. I want to make sure I'm eating this. I got to make sure I'm eating my vegetables and my beans and my onions and mushrooms and fruits and seeds and nuts, and stay away from this stuff and try to eat more of this stuff, eat less of this stuff. And what I didn't realize is that I was going right back into where I had been before I did my fast. I had put myself back in that mindset again, and it was affecting me. It affected me in a negative way. And I think that contributed a lot to my weight gain. And nothing's factual because we really don't know. The only person that really knows is God. And that's something that I've been learning, is that only God knows the truth. Only God knows why. Only God knows what can be done. All we are doing down here is speculating based off of what we read, what we interpret, what other people say. Everyone has an opinion, but no one knows the truth. No one knows fact. And that's how I feel. I'm not here to argue or judge or talk to anybody or get into a debate because honestly, I don't care. I don't really want to debate anybody. That's just my mindset. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm going with. But one thing that I realized was that like I said, I went back into that same mindset, and I think that contributed to me, kind of struggling off the back. Um, Two things really happened to me over the last 2 months. First, I went to a wedding. I went to my friend's wedding in Kansas City, and upon going there, I learned that two of her sorority sisters had passed away the night before. Now, I didn't know these girls, I didn't know anything about them, but I learned that they had got into a fatal car accident. One had just graduated from college, and one had was this was her senior year. She was starting her senior year in college, at University of Rolla in Missouri. And man, that really hit me. I don't know why, but it hit me. All I could think of was that, man, I just know that at the end, like, they had no idea that morning that was going to be their last day. Like, think about that for a moment. We don't know when we're going to leave, but think about the time, think about the deaths that you hear about every day. And you think about how that person woke up just like you and I do every morning, thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to talk to this person, I'm going to cook this, I'm going to go here, not even knowing that this is your last day. And just that mindset really took me to a different place mentally. It started this level of awareness and enlightenment, and it could have been God. I would like to think it was God. He's in control of everything. So I think that he was showing me a lot of things over these last few months. And it really, and then it was another death in my family. But I'll touch on that in a second. Just from the two ladies that died in a car accident, it made me think about fasting. It made me think about my fast. And one thing about fasting is you're depriving yourself of nutrients. You're depriving yourself of food. And food is what gives us life. Food is how we live. So essentially we're depriving ourselves of life. And for those 40 days, life was taken away from me. In a weird way. Life was taken away. And upon learning about the two ladies that passed away, it made me think back to my fast, and it made me realize how important life is. Like how we take life for granted. How I was taking life for granted. I was doing a lot. I never thought about my life. I never really realized that my life was important to me. We only get one life, and when we're gone, we're gone. And nothing else matters. And it made me think about all the things that we focus on, all the things. Sorry for the bumping, and it's my kids upstairs, but they may throw me out for a minute. But it made me think about all the times that I got wrapped up in arguments and bad relationships and situations and people, and allowing people to take me to dark places, allowing things to take me to dark places, not even realizing that I was alive. I was still breathing. And as long as you're breathing, you got a reason to celebrate. You don't have to, I don't have to stay in a bad, I don't have to get into an argument with someone. I don't have to allow someone to dictate my emotions. And I didn't have to allow me to get wrapped up in a job or a boss, treat me any kind of way. How many times do we go to work and we allow our coworkers and our bosses to put us in these stressful situations and make us feel so bad, and we go home and we're stressed. Think about all the times that you're in that moment of feeling that way, and you're not even realizing that you only got one life. Like, when it's over, it's over. And in the million dollar question that was presented to me was, if this was your last day, what would matter? Would the things that you worry about matter? Would the things that stress you out matter? Would they matter? Me, for example, I'm a clean person. I like my house to be a certain way. I like my space, my living space, to be a certain way. Would that matter if the Lord told me that this was your last day? Would my house being clean matter to me? Would it really matter? And when I've been asking myself that question, it's made me realize that a lot of things don't matter to me. They really don't. And upon realizing that those things don't matter and that I only get one life, it's made me a lot happier. It's made me a lot less stressed. I haven't been stressed in a while. I haven't been, stressed out. Me and my wife, we got into not an argument, but we had a conversation the other day. And my wife, she has a short fuse. She gets, angry. She likes to blow off the handle, and she just says what she feels, and I mean, she is who she is. And it don't bother it doesn't necessarily bother me, because, like I said, it don't have anything to do with me. It doesn't dictate my life one way or the other. and we were just talking, and I remember I was like, I used to, she had been complaining like, about, I haven't been cleaning up lately. And for granted, I haven't been cleaning up, but it's not because I haven't wanted to. It's because I've been tired. It's because I've been working nights. I have a night job just to pick up an extra few hours, pay a little bit of bills. Nothing too strenuous, but I've been working nights, so I've been a little tired in the daytime. And it was a time when I would come home and I would want my house to be straight. And if it wasn't, I was frustrated. It pissed me off, and I would tell my wife, like, I need you to clean up, or I'll ask her to clean up, or I'll say, babe, this needs to be clean when I get home. For me, in order for me to be comfortable in my house, I got to be clean. And I thought back to those times, and I was like, I told her, I was like, that was the old Tony. Of course, I want my house to be clean, but if it's not, am I going to allow that to dictate how I feel? Am I going to allow that to stand in the way of me living my life? And the answer was no. So I told her, I'm not, if the house isn't clean, that doesn't bother me anymore. If you don't clean up behind yourself, hey, that's on you. That ain't on me no more. Those things don't belong to me anymore. Those things belong to everyone else. And I could tell that she was kind of frustrated a little bit, but I couldn't really tell. She didn't say she was mad, but her actions said that she didn't really know how to take what I said. And I was like, if the house get clean, it get clean. If it don't, it don't. It don't bother me anymore. I don't care. I don't care about a lot of things anymore. I, situations and arguments with people, and people have a certain view and they want to debate. I don't care. I got off Facebook. It was just one day I was like, you know what? I was scrolling down my timeline and everybody was just been talking about the same thing. Talking about this election, talking about police brutality against black folks, black people talking about black issues, white people talking about white issues, whatever. And I just was like, you know what? This stuff can't possibly be on someone's mind all day. Like, we're wasting our life thinking about, arguing about stuff that don't have nothing to do with us, really. It's an issue, but it don't have nothing to do with us. We talk about rape culture and, watching, I went to see Birth of a Nation, which was a good movie. It was a great movie. We talk about Nate Parker, the person that directed it, and they talked about how, he had allegedly raped a girl in college, and everybody got so caught up in that. And I was just like, man, I care because someone was done wrong in this situation, but how does it affect my life? It doesn't. So why get into these debates with people about, you should go you should go support him anyway, and he didn't do anything wrong, and this person saying, well, the girl said he did something wrong, and what about consent? Who cares? That's their issue. That's not my issue. And so that's been my mindset. And I have been a lot less stressed. I haven't been feeling bad at all, And then, like I said, I had another death in my family. I had another death. It was in my family. My uncle passed away, who I had a very good relationship with. He was like a grandfather to me. My pastor, my uncle, but he had been my pastor in my church for a long time. And man, I've never seen a death tear so many people apart. It was handled by his immediate family, and the rest of the family didn't agree with how they handled it. Everyone kind of got into arguments. People on Facebook arguing with one another. My mom really felt bad about it because, this was somebody that she viewed as like a father figure. He was like a father to her. And she wasn't allowed, like the rest of the family, to see him at his burial. They had a memorial service for the family, but they had a private funeral and burial for his kids, and the rest of the family felt really mad about that. A lot of people didn't like that. And though I would have liked to see him buried and see his body, I would have liked to see that myself as closure for me. I mean, it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter to me enough to be angry about it. One thing can't nobody take away is your memories of a person. You can't take that away. So I remember him in my own way, and I mourn for him in my own way, but I don't need a funeral. I don't need a memorial service to mourn him, nor do I want to get into arguments with people on how they handled him, and him and dying. He's gone. He has died. I'm pretty sure if he was alive, things would have been different, but he's not. So why get caught up in how he's buried and how he's memorialized? That stuff don't matter, you know. And to further make me understand how important life is, I thought about, how people die every day, and people mourn, and people say, rest in peace to this person. But then a week later, they back into their own drama in their life, and they kind of forget about that person. So think about it, all the energy we lend to people in situations and relationships, toxic, relationships where we just spending all our time being miserable with someone or dealing with a bad situation, or even giving out all the job. People work themselves to death, working 70 hours a week just because they gotta work. I gotta work, I gotta provide, I gotta have money, when you die, that job goes to someone else. What lasting imprint are you leaving? So all this stuff has been going on, and like I said, it's made me have a better appreciation for food and a better appreciation for life. Um, and just to rewind, I got really stressed out about gaining weight, and I didn't want to gain weight. I wanted to remain small, but I realized that I go to the gym and I see these people that work out every day, and I talk to them, and people that's been working out for years that's small and they got good physique. I'm talking about men and women that look great, and they working out every day, and I'm just watching them. I'm just admiring them. Like, man, you're here every day. You've been here for years, and it's like, how do you keep at it? And I realized that all these people had a certain mentality that kept them that way. And I realized that I don't yet have that mentality. So I can lose all the weight that I possibly can. I can get down to whatever weight I want to get down to, but I'll never stay there. And you know why? Because I don't have that mentality. I don't have it yet. And, I have been stressing about it and, asking the Lord to relieve me of this issue. And then it dawned on me, whether he spoke to me or not, I didn't hear a voice, but it dawned on me that my weight and my relationship with food is the only issue that I really have in my life. Other than that, everything is all good. I got my wife, my family, I got kids, I got a house, I have transportation, I'm all right. If the Lord don't ever bless me with anything else, I'm great. But my issue with my weight and my issue with dealing with food and eating the right things all the time is the only issue that I really have. And I realize is it that issue that I have with that is what keeps me close to God. Because if God delivered me from that, what would I ever go to him for again? Now, some people may be like, well, you're supposed to be thanking him every day, but how, a lot of times we go to the Lord when we having issues. We go to the Lord when we're struggling and we need help and we need guidance. And for a while, I had been wondering, like, God, why is this happening? I need answers, and he wasn't answering to me, and like I said, it dawned on me that, it's that struggle that I have with food that keeps me close to him. So I appreciate it. Tony, go back upstairs, buddy. Close the door. So so I realized that, and I realized how important that fast was, how I learned a lot. I was enlightened. These last 3 months really highlighted what the fast really brought to my life. And that fast really taught me how to appreciate life. It didn't teach me how to eat right and to eat the right way. And one might say, well, if you appreciate life, then why don't you eat right? Well, my issue with food is deeper than me appreciating life. My relationship with food is deep rooted in how I was raised. I was raised that food was something that was a part of everyday life. And let me explain that further, because everybody eats every day, but in my family, food was what brought us together. Food was what accompanied us on everything. Food was a huge part of our life. Whether it was with any emotion that we was dealing with, food was right there. Food had never left our side. Food was faithful. Food was committed to us, and we were committed to it. And so, I'm 31 years old. I just turned 31 on October 3rd. And for 31 years, I've had that relationship with food. It's a part of me. And if anybody ever tried to get rid of a part of them, that's very, very impossible to do. It's hard to get rid of a part of you. It takes the Lord to change that. You can't do it. You can beg and ask for it, but He has to do it. You can't do anything. So I realized that I couldn't do anything about that. I'll be up there in a minute, Taylor. Um, I realized that, and it just it showed me that there's something else that I have to learn in order to remove that issue that I'm having with food. There's something else that has to happen, and I believe that fasting for 40 days, that previous fast I did, that is the most that I've ever gotten out of God in a way. That's the most that I've ever learned about myself, ever. Even through high school, you learn about who you are. In college, and as you grow, you learn about what you like and what you don't like. But doing that fast really taught me more about myself than I ever learned before in my life, and it taught me how to appreciate life. Nothing else taught me that. But doing that fast for 40 days really opened my eyes to those things. So I feel like fasting for extended periods of time is what works for me as far as learning about myself. And and the idea that I have, every day I wake up, I have the opportunity to do things over, and I have the opportunity to make the right decisions. It's encouraging. So, I was thinking last night that, I want to fast again. Not like I said, I was telling my friend Kay, I heard of who's fasting. I was like, don't make the fast about weight, because you can gain that weight back and you'll feel like the fast was a waste of time. And fasting isn't about weight for me. Fasting is about self-awareness and enlightening and changing my life. Because I'm depriving myself of life, which teaches me how to appreciate it more. But I feel like through fasting is how the Lord talks to me. I feel like that. And, I see a lot of videos of people doing it, and I'm encouraged by that, but that's something that I want to do, so I think that I would like to do a 20-day fast. I don't know where 20 came from. I was just thinking last night, I was like, I'm not going to do 40. I don't have the energy to do that, but I think that 20 days, I would like to do a 20-day fast and learn more about Tony. Learn more about who I am, and learn more about, life and what it means to me and what my purpose is, because I feel like I don't have a purpose right now, or I don't. Everyone has a purpose. I don't feel like I don't have a purpose, but I don't know what my purpose is. I love counseling, because that's my field. I love talking to people. I love working out issues between people, and that's something I enjoy doing. But my purpose, I don't know what it is yet. And you may ask, why am I doing these videos? Are you trying to get attention? No, not really. The reason I feel encouraged by doing these videos is because, for a couple of reasons. For one, because I know there's other people out there struggling like I am, or there may be other people out there who are dealing with life the same way I am. And I think if people can see my transformation and see me grow and see the things that I go through and see how, I think, it might encourage other people. It might change other people's lives. You never know. I could be a testimony to somebody else. Secondly, I would like, I don't know how long YouTube will be around, but when my children grow up and maybe I'm not around, maybe I'm not around, maybe I'm dead, maybe I'm a vegetable, maybe I don't really remember stuff, and they can go back and look on YouTube and look at their father and the things that he dealt with. And maybe it could teach them, not only teach them about themselves, teach them about life, but maybe teach them about who I am, and teach them about, and help them relate to the things that I go through. Let them know that I'm human too, just like they are. You know, you never know what type of, you never know what example you are to people. That's why you're supposed to live your life the best way you know how. Loving others as you love yourself, the golden rule. Treating others as you treating others the way you want to be treated. And I really believe in that. But I want to do a 20-day fast. Will I complete it? Who knows? It's only the Lord. The Lord is the only person that's in control. But I'm going to work my butt off to finish it, to get it, to do it, to do 20 days. I don't think that's too much to ask. So I'll make a video periodically, maybe once a day. I think doing it once a day is a good thing because I have so much that I want to talk to you all about. It's a lot that has been going on with me mentally for the last 3 months that I didn't even though this video is 20 some minutes long, I haven't talked to y'all about half the stuff that has been going on with me, mentally and spiritually and physically. So I'm excited to be on this journey with you all again and talk. So I'm going to leave it here. And hopefully you all accept, what's going on. And if you have any opinions or whatnot, though I won't stop you from giving your opinion, it doesn't really dictate how I feel or what I do, but if you have an opinion, you have an opinion. That's cool. But, I look forward to just having this talk with you all and learning, and you learning more about me. So, you all have a blessed day and have a good one.